Hello everyone. So here we are at the last day of my trip to Maui, and I think it would be wonderful if I can make one more video for you guys. Perhaps it will alleviate some of the challenges that you may be going through, which most challenges are mental, and perhaps if we pay attention to the process of our thinking, then maybe we'll have an easier way to put that behind us and move on to bigger and better things. So let's talk about it. And the topic today, as usual, is, by the way, you do remember that we have about 1,500 videos on this channel, and that we do have a site, mind@seekstruth.com, and in combination of with the combination of the channels, videos on the channel, and what's the support that is available on the site, such as Skype consultations from around the world. You can go on my site, make an appointment, and we'll talk about your issues and your challenges on Skype one-on-one. Or perhaps the package that I have that is the ultimate breakup pain support, something like that. I think that the name of it is. What is it called? Ultimate Breakup Cure, the Ultimate Breakup Cure, and that is available for you, which has lots of perks in it. All the ebooks are included. Your 1 year of subscription for that to enjoy 82 selected videos that pertains to your challenge that you're going through, the breakup, and those videos are always updated as I find new star videos among the productions and videos that is recognized. It's added and you don't have to pay again. And of course the mindset in PDF file and on video is available for you to learn what it is that you should be focusing on when you want to move on from your breakup and so on. And many other perks that is available in there. You also get a 50% off the Skype consultations because you enrolled in that subscription. And I think the whole package at the moment is, I think it's $198, which has all these perks, and it's a great support if that is what you think you should be taking advantage of. And of course you can write me an email, and there's a nominal fee from the site that, if you can't afford the consultation, you can send me an email. So all these are available. However, I thought maybe one more angle, one more video can maybe help a lot. And all these videos on the channel are free for you, so you don't have to talk to me, you don't have to pay me, you don't have to buy anything from this channel. These are all available, 1,500 videos. But if you want an extra support and talk about certain particular issues one-on-one, well, these are all other possibilities that is available to you. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is why you can't move on. Well, from time to time I have written lots of things that I haven't brought them to video yet, and because it was a long time ago I wrote them, so I might not quite remember what I wrote. So I think it's easier when I have my notes in front of me and I can refer to them and so on. So the question is why you cannot move on. Well, you got to rely on your instinct. And why is it that you don't? You rely on your instinct and you let your instinct to take over and do the right thing. In most cases, like a car is about to hit you, you jump away. You are just about to step into a puddle, you jump over it. These are things that is the mechanism that is set in you for your protection, for your well-being. So you will recognize something that is not good, a situation that you're in is not good, and you instinctively move away from it. Leaping over it, jumping and moving away and stuff like that. So when you see a puddle and you jump over it because you just don't want your shoes to get wet, why is it that you put up with something that is bothering your emotions, soul, and your whole mood of what it is that you're on this earth to accomplish, which is learning and experiencing and building and moving on? That's one thing. So hopefully by focusing on these little notes, little points of logic, it will help you to jog something in your brain and say, okay, yeah, he's right. Let me use all these things that I am capable of. It's all in me, built in me, all these qualities I can use and move on. So number one, it's a puddle, you move on, you jump over it. So breakup, It's a puddle. You don't want to be in there, do you? So have that vigor, that determination that I want to move on. It's justified that I want to move on. First, I want to. That should be in your mind, that I want to. Not that, oh, it's a breakup, I feel bad, but you know, I love her, I want to be. No, I want to move on. It's a puddle. Now, do you remember the elephant? One of the reasons that we have a hard time to move on from a bad situation or some situation that we don't like. Well, the elephant, if you realize, as big as it is, but a small, tiny chain as thick or thin as this, maybe a little thicker, can stop the elephant from moving. They just wrap it around one of his hands, you know, legs, hands. And it's a very flimsy chain. But you wonder, why is this big, huge, powerful animal is not just pushing it, nudging it, and tearing it apart and move on? Because the elephant has been conditioned from childhood. That chain that is on his foot right now, or hand right now, looks very thin. But when the elephant was a child, the same chain was being used. And at that time, for the size of the elephant, that chain was powerful. He couldn't move himself. He couldn't move away. He tried when he was a kid, when he was a child. But that chain held him back. And he's conditioned that once there's a chain on his leg or hand, he's convinced that he can't move on. Therefore, he's no longer trying. If he tries, he tears it apart with one move. But he's not trying anymore because he's conditioned that he can't. You, at the same time, have been told that, oh, it's a devastation, you know, she left you. Whatever your relationship is, I just talk about one kind of relationship. You switch it around to whatever suits you. You're a man or you're a woman, or whatever your gender is, you switch it around, what I'm saying here. But I just talk about one kind of relationship. So you think, oh yeah, she left me, I'm devastated, and therefore I can't move on without her, nothing makes sense. And so you're convincing yourself that, no, I can't. So when you say I can't, when you're convinced that you can't, whether they have convinced you from outside like the little elephant, or you have convinced yourself that she was the best thing in my life, there's no one better than her, I will never find anybody like that. So you're convinced, you've immobilized yourself, you can't move on because of the elephant and the chain logic. So be aware of that what's holding you back is not something from outside, it's you. You're the chain. Your conditioning, your thinking is that chain that is as powerful as it can get. Because as long as your mind thinks you can't do something, you can't. Look, put your hand over here or your knees. And as long as you have it here and thinking, I can't move my hand, I can't move my hand. There's no way I can move my hand. There's no way. As long as you're thinking that way, there's no way you can move your hand. You can't move it. Because your mind controls and orders, commands the movement of your body. And you're saying, I can't. You're thinking that, oh, it's glued to my chest. With hard glue, it's impossible to take it up. And then you can't. But as soon as you know you can, there's no glue here, you do. So it's all about your thinking is the chain. You change the thinking, you unlock the chain. Now, so what is the problem here? The problem is me, that thinks, oh, everything should be the way I want it and it's not, and so on. Your thinking is the problem, not the chain, not the breakup, not the fact that she's really all you think she is. You made it up in your mind that she is all you think she is. But in reality, if she was as good as you think she was, she would have been here. So why should she be qualified as the best person for you when she's not acting or behaving as that very best person for you? She's not with you. Why should a woman who is not with you qualify your attention? You wish her well, and then you wish yourself well and respect yourself and move on. So don't create an angel out of her, then you will not think of her to be an angel. You'll just think of her as being a human being who happened to not be able to appreciate you. And that's the end of that. No big deal. Nobody is that good. So, and you know, the me being the problem, I give you this example. Let's say you go to a store and you see a nice bottle of juice and you say, wow, it looks so good. And yeah, it's cranberry and mixed with this and that, must be good for my health. Yes, this is nutritional values are really good. I've read about this other ingredients in this juice. Yes, it's good. I want it. Yes, definitely. Then you buy it. You decide that is the right thing for you, good for you, and you buy it. You come home. You come home and you taste it. So, oh, holy macaroni, what is this? But although you tasted it and it tastes awful, and it's definitely not what you thought it is, but you still say, no, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's good. Why are you wrong? Why do you think you're wrong? You just tasted it. Because you convinced yourself in the store, you, the me, how important you are, that you think you're the most important person in the world. You're right in everything that you set out to believe it's right. So you, the me, was the one who chose this. How can you go against yourself? You chose it. How can you now say, no, it's not good? Because then you're denying or defying yourself. And nobody's going to say, I'm wrong. Nobody's going to say, no, I didn't know enough. It was me who convinced me, so it had credibility. So how can I not go against myself? Even though I've tasted it that it's not good, but I still stick with that idea of, oh, but the nutrition value, it's written there. It's said it's good. I've convinced myself. I believe it's good. So who's at fault here that you're not putting it down, taking it back, or moving on to another juice? It's you, the me. The problem is not always coming from outside. Often the problem is ourselves, our mind, our conditioning, our convincing in the me, for whatever reason, ego, or the fact that I have said it, then therefore it must be good because I said it. We can't even get away from that because we feel the I, the me, is more important than the actual fact. And that's another problem that you might be concerned, you might be focusing on, you should be focusing on. That why you can't move on from her is because it was you who chose her. It was you who conditioned yourself that she's the best. And now you have a problem to believing yourself, believing the facts, because at one time you, thinking that you are credible, obviously you don't lie to yourself, you chose her. So there must be, you can't go against yourself. These are what's going through your head, which you should just separate it from. Says, well, at that time she was what I thought she was, and she was. But we're dynamic, we'll change. And now, just because she looks the same as she used to, doesn't mean she is the same as she used to. Because we're mind and body. Her mind has been changing. Her body looks the same, so I recognize her as, her looks. But what makes that look and body tick is her mind, which the consciousness constantly is updating. And at this point of her life, I wouldn't have chosen her. Not that because I chose her and she was wonderful, then she must be the same, even now that she's not for me or acting the way she used to or pay attention to me she used to, doesn't reciprocate my feelings and emotions, but you still think it is because you chose it, the me. Get away from the me. The me is not important. The facts are important, not because it was me who chose it. Big deal. Now, so we talked about that. So instead of you perceiving her as who she was, still though that she's not, but you still see her, but think of her as how she used to be, because you remember how wonderful she used to be to you and so on. So when you see her, you still perceive her as how she used to be, not see her as she is today. The actuality of her is what makes you, set you free and makes you see the truth of the character and the relationship that you have. Not thinking about the kind of relationship that you used to have and think that I still have that, even though she's not with me, she broke up with me, but I still should think of her as the way she used to be. See her for what she is, and then you will be set free. Because as long as you think she's good, you won't be able to move on. So you got to see the fact of her. And the fact is, she's not as good as she used to be to you. So you have no reason to think of her the way she used to be. Then you see her as she is, then you say, well, that's not really what I'm looking for anymore. Not even then. If she was then the way she is today, you would have never chosen her, would you have? Now, so you got to see her the way she is, not the way she used to be. And you believe that she's the best. Well, how could she be the best if she's not with you? Have you thought of that? You think she's the best because she used to, and you used to see her and think about her the way she was, which was the best for you at the time. But you believe that she's the best even when she's changed and she's no longer how she used to be. That's not logical. And in fact, the fact that you would receive pleasure from that relationship, intimacy, love, kindness, cuddling,